Goddamn.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NHP. Welcome back to another edition of your Friday News, man. This is another edition, like I said, of the Friday News, episode 245. I want to,
Yeah.
yes, 45. Losing track as we inch closer and closer to 250. This is episode 245 of the News, man. And how is everybody doing? And welcome back to another edition of the News. And how, like I said, man, how is everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining us here today, as always, man, for the Friday News. And how's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? If this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here live after Monday Night Raw with Unscripted. Every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, and for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW, we are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review, man. If you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, could the Raw debut on Netflix be the biggest Raw ever? We talked about all that. We talked about the new logo unveiling for Monday Night Raw on Netflix. We talked about all that good stuff, and we had a great discussion, man. We had a great discussion about AEW Dynamite. We had a great discussion about Monday Night Raw. We had a great discussion about the little bits that were on SmackDown. That is episode 226. If you guys did miss that, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Monday after Monday Night Raw for NHP Unscripted. I do apologize for the late upload on that. For some reason, the video took ridiculously long to render to the point where I would be able to download it onto my PC. So that was a bit odd. That was a bit odd and a bit annoying. But nonetheless, it is available for you guys on all platforms now. So again, I do apologize to the audio listeners, man. I know you guys I know it's always great to get fresh content up to listen to when you're in the car, at work, whatever you guys got going on. So I do apologize for the late upload on that. But if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, where you can get the brand new piece of NHP merchandise to commemorate the rebrand of the podcast with the next chapter design that you see on your very screen. Again, that's available for purchase on bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. And with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very podcast. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm doing good. Doing good, man. Doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Christmas about to be here. Birthday's about to be here, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hey,
Just been
hey, hey.
chilling out. Hell yeah, dude. So I've just been chilling out. Excited for the weekend. Excited for the week of Christmas, dude. So just excited. Been chilling out. But it's been good. It's been a good Christmas season so far, man. And I can't wait for the rest of it, man. But I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing good. I am doing good, man. I am doing good. And yeah, that well, since you brought it up, I was hoping you would have forgot. But to hit the graphic, as the old Tony Khan would say, want to give a huge. It's not yet. It's 2 days. In 2 days. But since this is the last podcast where Sir K will be 22 years of age on, just want to say a lot of announcements today. Just want to give a huge happy birthday shout out to my man, the co-host of the Notorious Heels podcast, bro. One half of the co-host of the Notorious Heels podcast, man. My best friend, my absolute brother, Sir K, bro. Just want to give a huge happy birthday shout out to you, man. You could already see he's cheesing. We don't know what he's cheesing about. I know what he's cheesing about, but we'll keep that to ourselves. But he's already cheesing, bro. He's getting glazed. What is this? 16 minutes into the podcast, bro. But regardless, man, I want to give a huge happy birthday shout out to you, man. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for always being an honest person. Thank you for always being a good person, one of the best human beings that I know. Also, simultaneously or simulcastly, one of the one of the funniest humans I know, along with that, bro. So truly, bro, thank you for so much. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for all that you do for me as a friend, as a brother. Thank you for you for all our friends. I think I could speak for everybody in our friend group as well as everybody in chat to say, bro, that you always remain to be just again one of the best, most sweethearted people I know. He doesn't let everybody see that side of him, but he's got it in him. But seriously, bro, one of the most sweethearted, kind, honest, and just amazing people that I know, bro. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And just to speak a little bit from my perspective, bro, to put it short and sweet, I genuinely
Hmm.
do not know how I could have got through this year of all, without you by my side, bro. So truly, thank you to everything that you do for us. Thank you to everything. Thank you to everything you do for everybody, bro. I know everybody is impacted by you, in some way positively, bro. So, just thank you for everything you do, man. And I hope you have a great birthday. And I know I'm gonna be with you on the birthday, bro. But I'm excited. You know I'm excited, man. You know I'm excited. Always a fun night out, bro. But yes, bro. Happy birthday to you. So yeah, man. Everybody get the happy birthdays going in the chat for Sir K. So happy birthday to the man himself.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Couldn't ask for better best friend and brother and better friends and better people to talk wrestling with you guys, man. So truly lucky. I really fucking am, man. So thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, um, and man, we got Christmas coming up soon, bro. You got fucking
Can't
Christmas
wait.
coming up soon. We got what is it, next Wednesday? Yes,
Yep.
next Wednesday.
Right on Dynamite.
So
We get Christmas Dynamite. And we still don't know whether it's live on Sunday, and then we still don't know. They
I
haven't told us the actual
yep.
details.
My TV provider says there's not a new episode until the 25th. AEW graphics are saying it takes place on the 22nd, live for the fans in New York, but I don't know what that means in terms of live. Is it only live for the fans in New York, or are they just saying live in New York? I don't.
As like the fans, because like, why? Of course, it's always live for the fucking fan. I don't
I,
know. I
I
genuinely don't know what the fuck is up with that shit, dude. Either
yeah.
way, we're probably not gonna be able to watch it live because that'll probably be the time of the birthday dinners around that time. Thankfully.
Oh, for
So
sure. Yeah, that's not a live watch. that that's
cool.
that's a Tuesday night. I know we don't have to talk about this on Unscripted anyways, so we are just going to just peep at this and see how it goes. But we'll get to that in just a second. A lot of announcements before we get to the news, so I don't want to take too long with everything else. But what was I saying? Yes. So one last time, bro. Happy birthday to Sir K, and I hope you guys are going through a good Christmas season, bro. I hope you guys are going through a good Christmas season. Always my favorite time of year, man. I always love seeing the just the aesthetic of the tree and gifts under the tree, and just telling
Christmas
people,
light.
yes, just telling people, just telling people about how excited I am for them to open their gifts and whatnot. It's just always warms the tummy. Always warms the tummy for me, bro. So, um,
Really. And if you guys like a white Christmas, we definitely got one. Fucking
yeah,
been snowing its ass off, dude.
yeah,
Fucking we're
yes.
like Tony Khan, white Christmas. If you like the different
Come
white
on, man.
Christmas.
Come
I think
on,
his is
man. So, yeah, so always excited for that. But as Durante always asks, man, I'm good, family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, everybody, all my peoples here in the live chat, as well as my guys, a part of the Replay Mafia, JT and JB. Thank you guys as always for joining us. And so,
Mhm.
on to the business. So, this Monday's Unscripted will be the last wrestling talk unscripted of the year. What do I mean by that? So the 30th of December, that is going to be our episode of Unscripted where we do. So last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we did a prediction talk for both companies, WWE and AEW. We talked different feuds. We talked the trajectory of the company. It was a really fun listen, it was a really fun to do. I hope it was a really fun listen for you guys. But it was really fun to do, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna do it again, obviously, on the 30th. So we're not gonna be talking no Raw, no Miracle on 31st Street Dynamite. We're not gonna be talking about any of that. We're not gonna be talking about any of that stuff. So yeah, that is that. And as for the other special shows we have coming up in the year, well, guys, we have something very, very special to unveil for you guys. So, hold on. Christopher Leclerc. Hey, he says, I just subscribed on my phone. Brother.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you so much, bro. You know, thank you so much, dude. He subscribed on his phone, man. What a goat. Now, hey, you know what they say, bro? Only the goats subscribe on their phone.
Exactly. That is very true, man. So thank you for the subscription and Merry Christmas, bro. Thank you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you too, man.
Yes, thank you so much, man. Merry Christmas to you, bro. You and your family. So thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate that, man. But with the announcement, man, the year-end awards. The year-end awards, man. The year-end awards has been missing something as of the past 2 years or whatever we've done. Yes, the 3 years.
3 years, because the first year was Slammies.
No, wait, that one didn't happen. That one was okay. That was
it was atrocious, but it happened. Can't just erase, not Vince. Can't just erase history.
I was trying to pull Vince, but here comes Triple H trying to be a good person.
But look what it is now, man. Look what it is now.
The past 4 years, man, year-end awards has been lacking something. Okay, it's been lacking a oomph, and it's been lacking a oomph in maybe the logo is what I'm trying to say. So today we have to present to you all the brand new logo. As you can see, we have this. But it is with great pleasure we announce the brand new logo for the Notorious Heels Podcast Year-End Awards. As you can see, the beautiful, beautiful logo there on your very screen, man, as oh my God. Want to give a huge shout out. Want to give a huge, huge shout out to my man over at Stickers 13 Studios, man. I don't want to say his name. I don't know if he'll mind, but
yeah.
I want to give a huge shout out to my man over there at Stickers 13 Studios for the brand new. I'm going to play the still image up on your screen for you guys right now. There's the still image, man. I want to give a huge, huge special shout out to my man over at Stickers 13 Studios for the brand new and revised and refreshed logo for the 2024 Notorious Heels Podcast Year-End Awards. As you guys know, we did the rebrand. It was time to get rid of all those just logos. Not that there was anything wrong with the main logo and the unscripted logo, but it was time for a change. But the year-end award logo needed to go.
That was bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
There was no fucking way we could have went on another year with that logo, man. So I had my man bring our vision to life. And holy shit, if you guys ever need a designer to design logos for you, look no further than my guys over there at Stickers 13 Studios, man. What an excellent job he did with the logo here. Obviously, it is our NHP skull
Mm-hmm.
on a trophy, bro. So that just looks absolutely magnificent. And this is going to be the logo for the future of NHP, man. Amazing work. Always will talk good about his work, bro. He truly has brought now 3 of our visions to life with Unscripted, with the main show, the Friday show, as you guys are watching now, and now with the year-end award logo. So this is the logo for the year-end awards. Now, you may ask to yourself, man, when is year-end awards? Well, you guys know we usually do a preview show for we normally do a preview show, but it's normally on Unscripted. Well, this year we are doing the predictions for both AEW and WWE for the last edition of Unscripted for the year. So we're doing things a little bit different. We're doing things a little bit different this year. So we are having a preview show standalone just for itself. We are having a preview show on Wednesday, January 1st at 3 p.m. Central. And this is going to be the preview show where we reveal to you guys the nominees. And this year, one of the things I'm most excited about, open voting. Yes, that means there is going to be my winner, there is going to be Sir K's winner, and there is going to be the winner of the fan vote. So
Exactly.
you guys are going to get a chance to vote. There's going to be a Google form that I'm going to give you guys probably as soon as this preview show on Wednesday, January 1st ends. There's going to, I'm going to drop the link for you guys to go vote on the who you think is the year-end award winner. And then exactly 1 week later at the same exact time, 3 p.m. Central on Wednesday, January 8th at 3 p.m. Central, we will be doing the official Notorious Heels Podcast 2024 official year-end award show, man. We're going to give the winners. We're going to give my winner. We're going to give Sir K's winner. And like I said, it's going to be interactive this year, so you guys are going to get to do your own winner, man. You guys are going to get to vote, and we're going to, tally up the votes. And of course, you guys, if your fan vote didn't win, you guys could throw it in the comments. We always love to hear what you guys think. As my man Christopher is getting an early head start, bro. It looks like he's given Roxanne Perez as his women's superstar of the year. So that's a great choice. That's a great choice. And nominees will be posted soon. Categories will be posted before the preview show. We're probably next week on news. I'm thinking we're going to give you guys the list of the categories, and then the preview show, we're going to, give you guys all the nominees for said category. And then voting's going to open. The year-end award show is going to be, so voting's going to be open for 6 days from the 1st to the 7th. It's going to be open all through those days, and then, like I said, we're gonna get the results of the polls or the votes. We're gonna get the results of all of it, and then there's gonna be a winner of the fan vote there. So it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. This always, I say it every year, is my absolute favorite time of the year for just graphics, and I just love this time of year. I love recapping the year. And I always say it every year, I love nothing more than producing the year-end awards. It's always one of my favorite shows that we produce, and it's always a banger, bro. It's always a banger. So hope you guys are excited, man. And my God, what an amazing fucking logo my man Stickers 13 Studios hooked us up with, bro. So shout out to him, man, for real.
Truly, man. Shout out Stickers 13 Studios, Instagram. Hit him up if you guys need logos for anything. They're phenomenal, dude. He's a great artist, and I'm so glad we found him. And we work with him, man, because look what he produces for us, man. Great, phenomenal work, man. And I'm excited. Love the year-end awards, man. Love the conversation. Who you guys think should win this and that, and why this person's your favorite, why this match was your favorite. Love the conversation, man. So year-end awards is always a favorite, man. Truly, I cannot wait.
Absolutely, man. And again, he did it again, bro. What an absolute fucking banger. Throughout the next 2 weeks, you guys are gonna get really annoyed because you're going to see this promotion a lot, and we're gonna start it today, and we are
Mm-hmm.
going to we're gonna put it in the we're gonna put it in the top corner of our screen here. We're gonna move him up here, and you guys are gonna get so annoyed by seeing this ad on top of the graphics. But hey, we promote here, okay? We
Year
promote
from
here.
your
We make sure our audience knows what's going on, unlike
yes,
some legitimate sports organizations. So
literally, I'm like Tony Khan, who, like I said, genuinely don't know how this holiday episode of Dynamite is working.
I have
Genuinely have no clue.
and the funny thing is, there's a Miracle on 31st Street edition of Dynamite, and there's not a Dynamite that takes place on the 31st. So there's a Dynamite that takes place on January 1st, but I don't even fucking know anymore. But
Might
well,
as well just call it like New Year's Dynamite or something, New Year's Bash or something. 31st Street. I I hate it. I hate it. Misery on 34th Street. I'm dreading it.
yeah, yep, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. um We're going to start you guys off with AEW, as a matter of fact, as we have a couple AEW stories here today. Guys, we have TNA news here today.
Oh, good God.
Holy
Probably
shit.
not for long, but TNA news nonetheless.
Yeah.
Giving me some flashbacks with this company, and not good ones.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AEW's one of their first shows, speaking of one of AEW's first shows in January, I just talked about how there is not a 31st Dynamite, so I don't know what. I know there's a first January 1st Dynamite, and I believe that is Fight for the Fallen.
Yes.
And we got some news on that, as according to Fightful Select, Adam Copeland is expected back in AEW imminently. Copeland has been cleared for training for a number of weeks back, and most within the company expect Adam Copeland back by the January 1st, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite. And if you guys watch Dynamite, which unfortunately we will have to talk about Dynamite on Monday, Adam Copeland looks to be coming back. See, now, what I thought they were going to do was have Copeland come back and spoil the cash-in of Christian Cage.
I thought they were too. I thought that was the plan.
That sounded like a plan to me, because I love Christian, but honestly, man, there's no way that Christian is I love Christian, and again, I think Christian is, the best work of his career has probably been in AEW, but I'm sorry, man, right now as AEW World Champion, I just don't see it.
No, it's not the time right now. You got so many people that are next up for that thing, so many people that make more sense. You got Darby, Will, all these guys, a second Hangman run.
Yep.
You got all these people. I could have Jay White eventually. We're probably eventually going to get the MJF second run. So it's like, yeah, he just can't. He just can't right now.
100%, 100%. And it's a crowded time, okay? It's a crowded time for the AEW championship. So I thought bringing Copeland back to spoil that would have been nice, because you would have had an easy out to do that.
Yeah.
AEW still can have a couple easy outs. They can, turn Nick Wayne, being that Nick Wayne is friends with Darby Allin. If AEW does have a very nice option and a very long-term storytelling option
Yeah.
to have
He would.
Nick, you know, for as much as he, hated Darby for trying to mentor him, and that's what ended with him going to Christian in the first place, if he can see, hey, this is my real friend, and I want to see him go after the world championship, so I'm gonna screw over Christian Cage. Being that they have been teasing a little dissension with Christian and Nick Wayne, that still is an easy option. The problem here is what they're bringing Adam Copeland back to do. Because we got this goof ass promo by FTR where, you know, they didn't have a problem with the Death
Well,
Riders because they agreed. They agreed, which okay. I
I
can
agree.
exactly. I can see that. But now because they put bags over their head and beat them in the cold, they have a problem with them now, which
They, they didn't have a problem with them putting a bag on Brian's head and choking him out and fucking suffocating him. But when you put a bag on their head,
oh yeah.
fucking horrible. Which just points to show the whole Mox's whole point in this is that everyone's selfish and they only care about themselves. I.e., FTR. They literally just basically said, "Yeah, we only care about ourselves.
So
You attacked us."
so FTR said all we tried to do was stop you from pouring disinfectant spray down
Blast.
Orange Cassidy's throat. Where the fuck were you when they were suffocating Bryan Danielson? So,
Suffocating Brian Danielson, committing crimes, fucking.
uh,
Where were you then? What do you mean?
now they have a problem. Now they have a problem after everything the Death Riders have done. Now they have a problem. Okay. All right. And what's even funnier is they say we are going to bring back we're what did they say? We're not coming alone January 1st, which is funny enough. They say we're going to be cleared. Doc said he's not clearing us for the rest of the year, so we're going to be cleared January 1st. How do
No,
you know that? I mean, if
you
if
know,
if you're
do
going
you
if you're trying to sell there's a real injury, shouldn't the real aspect of the injury mean you don't know when the fuck you're gonna get cleared?
like? Yeah, okay. You'll be cleared in 3 weeks, right on January 1st. You'll be clear. Like what?
That's
It
not how that
doesn't. You
works.
could play it up to where you're not cleared yet. You don't know if you could wrestle, and maybe you have those three guys out there. January 1st, boom, you bring them and Adam Copeland out, boom, surprise. But no, you literally just said, yeah, we're not allowed to wrestle right now, but we will in 3 weeks, and we're bringing Adam Copeland. Damn near basically what he said without saying it.
100%. That's exactly what he said without saying it. Um,
Great doctors.
he uh he says they're not coming alone. You mean to tell me we're gonna get another rah rah I love AEW speech by Adam Copeland as he combats the Death Riders? You gotta be
Are you
fucking kidding me.
Am I really gonna have to hear a side by side Raha with fucking Dax and Adam
Ugh.
Copeland? I feel like can I just hug Cash and have him get out of here, man? Can he just go solo? All these tag teams going solo. Can Cash go solo at this point? Fucking egg. This poor man's just getting dragged along through the shits.
AEW. Oh. Which, funny enough, to play to our next story, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, Kenny Omega is expected to be back in AEW by World's End. So with Kenny coming back, is the Elite coming back? Because if the Elite come back and don't go after the Death Riders, that makes this situation make even less sense because they
They
left because they were scared of the Death Riders, but damn near. They left because they were scared and they couldn't handle the Death Riders, and then they come back to not even handle them.
look horrible. And apparently they did return to a New Japan show and there was tension between them and Jack Perry because Jack Perry, yeah, what I predicted is Jack Perry's, thinks they're abandoning them and he's gonna ditch that, whatever. So genuinely, dude, they might come back and like feud with Okada and Jack Perry. I wouldn't be shocked.
which, could, I mean, generally speaking, I've always been against the elite reforming to go against the Death Riders.
Oh,
Um,
horrible.
the way they pointed, that makes the most sense, but that does not make any sense at all. But the way
No.
it doesn't, not make the most sense is the right term, but I guess the way the way they've built it is what they've pointed to. But that doesn't make any sense at all. But how do you not have the Young Bucks come back and fight the Death Riders? At least the Bucks, because what what are they left because they were scared of the Death Riders and it was too chaotic, and to have them come back, whether it's with Omega or not, what do you have these guys come back and do? Because
Yeah.
now you have to have them fight the Death Riders, whether it's with Omega or not. What do they go back to team with FTR and Adam Copeland? I mean, what the hell is that? I mean, what what I
I know
don't.
we got differences, but we gotta fight for AEW. That's exactly what we're gonna get. That's exactly what we're gonna get. It's gonna be horrible. We don't see eye to eye, but we both love AEW. Ugh, it's gonna be horrible, dude. I'm
and
dreading. It should have just been Darby.
as far as Omega is concerned, Omega had the Elite to feud with, and it's
Yeah, they
like,
they
y-
fucking beat him up. Well, he was like not supposed to even be beat up medically for real. They still beat him up. I mean, he's just gonna come back and be like, you know what? You guys whooped my ass a couple of months ago for no reason, but you know what? We gotta defend AEW. Don't say if they do that shit, dude. I'm so done. I'm
which
so they killed the whole story.
exactly, which AEW has been building to, according to the dirt sheets, they have been building to Omega and Okada for upon Kenny Omega's return. That would have made a lot of sense with the Elite being broken up if you had Okada randomly attack Omega the same way Jack Perry did on Dynamite when he hit him with the chair, and then there was that other segment a couple months later where Perry spilled out a bunch of guts on a birthday cake, and that would have made sense if that was all Okada doing
Oh,
that. But
man.
now,
Yeah.
the way with all the directions you pointed to, you've kind of pointed to Omega coming back to feud with Jack Perry, which who the hell wants to see that? I mean,
No lame ass match. I'm sorry. Fucking dude, the real GOAT, Kenny Omega's gonna come out, hard ass entrance, and then you're gonna see Mr. Goathead come out, and then all aura lost. Do not care about the match. Like, come on, bro. What are you building up for?
creatively, dude, creatively, we're gonna talk about what this. We're gonna talk about in a minute what this company is valued at, but creatively, this company is valued at about like a hot $5 bill. And there's only,
Exactly.
and I mean, and I seriously mean creatively, man. Right now, this company is worth probably about like a brand new, fresh out of the fucking vault, a hot $5 bill, bro.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking hot, straight off the line, junkyard car because this shit is just so messy and just so fucking mismatched. You know, when you see cars with like different panels, different like the hood's a different color, or like one of the doors that's AEW. Nothing fucking matches, nothing's cohesive. It's fucked. It's worth as much as it is because Tony Khan is putting that money into the company solely,
Yeah.
solely.
You're bringing Omega back to feud with what? A freshly lost Continental Championship to Okada? Because I don't see Okada winning the Continental Classic. Um, I honestly see them giving that more so to somebody like Kyle Fletcher. Um, I don't know. And as for Adam Copeland coming back to feud with the Death Riders, I don't know what sense that makes either. Other than Tony Khan falling in love with Adam Copeland being a leader and being one
He's
to
always,
stand up for the locker room in
yeah.
AEW.
Stand up for I stand with hashtag I stand with AEW. Yeah. Fucking hell.
I'm
Kill me.
lost. I'm lost. And
So
creatively, creatively, I truly do not. I don't know where they're going. I'm gonna keep an open eye. I don't know how many more dynamites I have in the chamber. I really don't. But I'm very. If you guys thought we did predict, we talked about how we did predictions for the companies last year. I said I was scared for AEW last year going into 2024. I'm frightened going
Oh, dude,
in.
I'm terrified.
Financially, they're gonna do fine. They're gonna do
Yeah,
great.
they're gonna be
They're
around.
they're they're gonna they're gonna continue to raise their financial value, and all the AEW fans are gonna give the same excuse that those annoying WWE fans would give back in 2021 when the company's making the most money.
Making
And
the money easy push SmackDown for $1 billion when it was fucking dog shit. Fuck out of here.
and they're gonna continue to say that, man. But at the end of the day, bro, this company is so lost creatively, man. I'm frightened for them, and I am frightened for the audience they're going to continue to lose. So
Mhm. I really am. I'm frightened for them creatively. Like you said, last year we said we were scared for AEW, and this year I'm literally that one fucking part in Resident Evil 8 with the big baby. I'm literally that
Brightens.
terrified for right. Fucking call me Renee watching the Fiend on commentary, dude. Fucking scared as shit. Can't fucking imagine the darkness of this and like fucking horrible. And that was the shit they were defending at the time because they were making so much money. And look at AEW fans now defending this horrible garbage because they're making money. Fucking life's a circle, man. So these fans are a circle, and this fucking company is gonna be in a circle of creative garbage, man. And I am scared for next year, man. Really am. They're gonna be around, unfortunately, and just gonna feed Tony Khan's ego.
Yes, yes, 100%. That is a reason we have a red circle behind our skull, is because the
Mm-hmm.
validity of that statement. Life indeed is a circle.
It really fucking is, man.
I'm scared. I'm frightened. Truly.
I'm terrified. Truly.
Now, speaking of AEW's value, this is one thing that this is another thing that scares me for the company. According to Variety, AEW is now valued at more than $2 billion, making it the third most valuable combat sports company in the world. Now, on a surface level, that's
It's
fantastic.
good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. If Tony Khan ever wanted to sell, or if he ever did want to, publicly trade the company, man, the company is worth so much, right? It's worth $2 billion. The problem with this is all they're going to look at. And this is what they're going to look
Mhm.
at. And they're going to say, oh, well,
Oh,
so
they're
much
making money.
for, exactly, so much for our audience trying to put us on to the problem, or the inner problems with the company. This is what we need to look at. The company is worth $2 billion. That's all we need to worry about. Fuck them. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Let's just keep putting on the same miserable content that we're putting out, and that's going to be that. So this is great for AEW, but simultaneously that this scares me, because this is just going to make them, believe in their minds that they are doing things right.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened with Vince and WWE in 2019 through like 2021. It was, oh, we're making the most money ever. We're doing everything right. We're not gonna listen to a single ounce of advice or criticism or nothing. And it's really gonna be a detriment, man, because I think creative is gonna be, from the way it's looking, from the way it is now, and if it gets worse, it's gonna be fucking horrid in 2025, man. And they're not gonna change a damn thing, man, because they're making money, 2 billion. Good for them, but not good for Tony Khan. Like a lot of people say, which I gotta agree. AEW is great for the business. Tony Khan is not, and that 2 billion number is all he's gonna be thinking about in his head while he books Kyle Fletcher to probably fucking beat fucking Omega at some point. I wouldn't be shocked. So, it's all he's gonna be thinking about is that 2 billion.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of all that a lot of their fan base has been thinking about, is their max deal. AEW on TV, at AEW on TV on Twitter, posted out an image yesterday of AEW breaking news. We've got answers ahead of AEW coming to Max beginning January 1st. This was the image they posted on their AEW on TV account on Twitter. Breaking news. All live AEW programming airing on Warner Bros. Discovery Networks will also be available to stream on Max and on demand after their live broadcast. AEW Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage, and all new pay-per-view library content through the end of 2024 will be made available on Max on a rolling basis. At launch, all AEW Dynamite episodes and pay-per-views from the company's inaugural year, so 3 pay-per-views, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear. All of the pay-per-views from the company's inaugural 2019 year will be available, as well as more than 2 months of the most recent AEW programming that has aired across Warner Bros. Discovery networks. Now, they were replying to people in the comments. Somebody asked, "Will live pay-per-views be included?" They responded to them, "AEW pay-per-view events are not yet available on Max, but will be coming to the platform later this year. Keep an eye on our social pages for upcoming announcements." There was another comment because I like a lot of you guys, I like a lot of you guys were wondering. Well, they said 2019. They did not talk anything about any of the new, or any of the old stuff from the years 2020 to 2023. Well, somebody asked, so will content from 2020 to 2023 be available immediately or not? They respond, not immediately, but will be added to the archive. So all we're going to get is 2019 Dynamites and 2019 pay-per-views on launch, as well as the last 2 months
The worst television they've ever produced.
of some of the absolute most dog shit television known to man when it comes to professional wrestling.
I'm definitely gonna go back and watch the 2 weeks ago's Beast Motors match. That's what I'm gonna go watch on AEW. I'm gonna go back in time and watch a Beast Mortis match. Yeah, so the Max deal, it really kind of did end up falling flat. We were always so excited for years. Was excited for the Max deal because I assumed they would get the Max deal, stuff would go to Max, and then we would get to watch pay-per-views for free. No, they're gonna be at a discounted price, which is just whatever price you pay for your Max subscription is gonna be taken off the pay-per-view. So it's not discounted. It's still $50.
Yeah.
In total, man. So that's the lame part, and we're only starting off with 2019, footage and history and shows and whatnot. Well, with the latest 2 months, and surely by slowly and slowly they're gonna keep adding. I don't know if they didn't tell if they're gonna do a year at a time, maybe like a quarter at a time. I could see them doing like all the shows leading up to 2020 Revolution, and then all the shows leading up to 2020 Double or Nothing, and I could see them doing it like that. So we'll see how they do it though, and they're gonna slowly be adding stuff. I can't wait for them to add 2021. They better not take like a fucking year to add that shit. Um, exactly, Christopher. I can't wait to back and watch old stuff. I really wish they would drop at least like through 2021 at least at launch, man, because that's really when I want to go back and watch, man. But good thing they will be coming back, man. It's just gonna be slowly rolled out, and we'll get more details soon. But Max Steel is coming, man, and it's got its problems, man. But I will like being able to go back and watch stuff, man. That will be nice.
Yes, so I can go back and remember the good old days from AEW when the company was absolutely feeding the masses, bro. Yes, as far as 2019, there is good stuff to watch. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
There is, that OG
we-
2019 Inner Circle. There is the original Cody Rhodes stuff from
oh,
AEW. There is the Moxley and Kenny stuff that was very good. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good on there. There's obviously the inaugural Double or Nothing with Cody and Dustin and Jericho and Omega, and the Moxley debut, which is just one of my favorite AEW moments ever. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm glad we're getting things on at least on a rolling basis. I just hope they don't take forever to release it. My main
I hope.
problem here is the whole pay-per-view thing. How are we going to be able to watch Grand Slam Australia? Cuz Tony Khan, I believe he said already that AEW Grand Slam was not going to be a pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure he said it was not going to be a pay-per-view. Um I'm pretty sure he said it was not going to be a pay-per-view because of the time zones and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So is it just gonna be available on YouTube or I thought Max was a easy out to just throw it on there, for everybody around the world to be able to watch. But so that's really annoying, and I hate how they don't specify how late in the year. Is it going to be around Revolution? Are you going to have something before Grand Slam? What exactly are you doing? And
Exactly. One thing that they didn't fucking comment that a lot of people were commenting, how is the ads gonna work if you're watching on Max? Because there is an ad-free version of Max you could, get the subscription to. How will that work? Will you still get ads if you get the ad-free? Or if you're paying for Max and you watch Dynamite through Max, will it be ad-free? They were not responding to those comments at all, which I found really annoying because that was a very commonly asked question.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's looking decent.
Another thing I was gonna say is I'm seeing a lot of people right now in the comments talk about how everybody's asking about the pay-per-views, and you just all you have to say is more information is coming. Like, how do you not have that type of stuff ready? I mean, you made a post talking about we're going to answer all your questions.
So I answer all the questions. Why are you gonna answer something? Like, well, I'll have some more answers soon. Like, bro, why are you fucking teasing? Why are you fucking drip feeding information? Just give it to us. It's information. It's stuff we'd like to know, man. It's just frustrating the way they're going about this deal, man. Like, it's a decent deal, but I would like to know all the fucking details before we go into it. Because I feel like we're gonna know everything like the first day. We're gonna get all this informed on us on that Fight for the Fallen episode, the first simulcast.
Yeah.
Fucking
Which
A. It's a
AEW commentary is calling the new era for All Elite Wrestling.
new era. Please, in this new era, come with new fucking management and commentary and literally everything. New employees, something.
Yeah. Yeah, you would I would hope, bro.
Like, it's just frustrating what the way they're handling the Max deal is the way they're feeding information. It's just really annoying, man. It's not a bad deal. Good for them. They're making their money, man. But fuck, can you just give us what's going on? Tell us the details. How you plan on rolling out old stuff? When you plan on doing it? How often will you do it? How's the pay-per-views working? How's the ads working? How's any of that work? Just tell us all. Please, just tell us all, and I'll be fine. But yeah, it's just so frustrating with this deal.
It is. It is because it's typical AEW, bro. I mean, this is this is what we're used to. Um right? This is typical AEW, typical leaving us in the dark, giving us half answers and whatnot. I think I could speak for all of us when I say we just want to know. We
Hmm.
just want to know. So that's it. That's it, bro. We just want to know, and we don't know, and that sometimes gets a little frustrating, bro. But that is what they gave in terms of the information for their max deal, and everything at least that we know about it so far. So Yeah, man, that is that. And speaking of AEW, man, before we move on to some TNA news, I believe this is our last bit of AEW news here.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
According to
wait,
Dave
no.
Meltzer. What were you
Oh,
saying?
wait, no. I, technically, we already talked. Yeah, we already talked about the Kenny return. My bad. So just one more.
Um, according to Dave Meltzer of The Observer, he says, I know Matt Cardona was offered an AEW contract and it is on the table. I do not know if he has signed or anything.
Matt,
Matt,
if you're listening to this, you are listening to us. If you are, shout us out. And second, if you are, please do not sign that deal, man. That roster is too goddamn crowded. It is so fucked. I mean, where's Mike Bigley? How is he gonna come into this? Where is he gonna come into in AEW? What is he gonna do? I don't think
he's going
nothing.
to fight the Death Riders.
He's gonna fight the Death Riders. Okay. Already in purgatory. So is the fucking Dork Order and all the fucking jobbers. And he's gonna fucking be a Rampage guy. You don't want him. Well, Rampage is being canceled by the time he should be coming in. So you'll be a Collision guy, man. So not great either. Um, so I, w- Matt, don't do this to yourself, man. If you're going anywhere, either keep doing the indies, go to Maple Leaf, or go to WWE, dude. They'll treat you right. Your girl's there. They obviously like your girl. So come on, man. Please do not make that decision. Please.
You see, Matt Cardona, I have I have spoken very highly of. I have spoken very highly
Definitely.
of since he's left WWE. I just love the work ethic that he puts in and that he's had and that he has displayed, and I love. I just love his whole attitude. I love his whole attitude, man. And obviously, he is a pioneer of the getting punished for getting over, and wanting to get over on his own, and you know he's phenomenal, right? I can't say enough good things about Matt
Mhm.
Cardona. So the thing here is Matt Cardona is easily somebody that I could see Tony Khan wanting to be petty towards. And why do I say this? Is because there was a story where
Mhm.
2020 Matt Cardona put Tony Khan
Remember this.
in check. He put Tony Khan in check
Yeah.
because Tony Khan told Cody Rhodes he wanted to, and I'm going to refresh your memories on this. Tony Khan told Cody Rhodes he wanted to sit down and have a meeting with Matt Cardona. So Matt flew to Jacksonville, and this meeting was not a meeting behind closed doors that Tony Khan should have had with Matt Cardona if he was serious about bringing him in. This was a meeting in a fucking hotel lobby where half the roster was in the lobby and Matt and Tony just
What?
sat at a table and started talking. Tony started expressing to Matt Cardona he wanted to put him in the Nightmare Factory or Family, whatever the hell it was called, Cody's group. They
Yeah, the
even made
Nightmare
him a
Factory.
coat.
A
They
coat.
they even made him the Nightmare Family jacket that said Matt.
Matt.
Matt Cardona talks about this story to this day. He talks about how he still has the jacket. So Cody and Matt a couple years back were doing a interview where Cody stated that Matt Cardona cut Tony Khan off mid conversation and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let me stop you right there." He said that to Tony Khan, and he proceeded to tell Tony Khan how he did not want to be employed because he was Cody's friend. He wanted creative. He wanted to do something. He wanted to be a star. He wanted to be a major player in the promotion. And clearly, everybody around the world, all the independent promotions and every other promotion in the world fucking love him because he's a professional.
Yeah.
He shows up to work. He's a fucking phenomenal talent. He promotes the shit out of himself. I mean, what's not to fucking love about Matt Cardona, man? He reinvented himself.
He did. He is fun. He's probably he's like what Cody did. How he reinvented himself on the Indies, completely redid his name, reinvented himself completely. Matt Cardona did the same thing to that level. Completely reinvent himself. Everybody loves working with him because he knows how to do business. He knows how to promote the show himself. He knows when to go over, when not to go over, when to protect his character, when to, work with the company on, going, not going over when that's okay. He's great at all that shit. He knows how to do the business, man, and Tony Khan doesn't. And he checked Tony Khan for that shit. He literally, like you said, told him, I'm not going to be employed just because I'm someone's friend. I want to do business. I want to be a name. I want to do all this, all that. And I respect the fuck out of that. And I remember that. I remember all that. He showed up for like, what was it, like 2 or 3 dynamites,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really cool. And then all that stuff ended up happening, and he went out back on his own, man, and he didn't sign. And guess what happens when he didn't sign to AEW? He's the best he's ever been. He really would have
Oh,
been mid Cardona in fucking AEW. He would have been low Cardona in AEW because it's Tony Khan and he doesn't know how to, do run things. He probably wouldn't have had value in Matt Cardona. And that's not a thing on Matt Cardona. That's a thing on Tony Khan. And he checked him, and Tony Khan only gotten worse since that incident. So if I was Matt Cardona, I probably wouldn't sign with AEW, and I'm sure I'm gonna ask you your clear what do you think he should do, but I'm pretty sure your sentiment is the same.
see, if I'm Matt has even stated before, one of his dreams is to have one more WrestleMania match, get one more
Hmm.
WWE action figure get a Matt Cardona action figure, and he wants to end his career in WWE. Now, what do I see WWE having for him? If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I think they would
Oh,
use him. I don't think he's going to be the
oh,
world
main event.
champion level caliber.
Mm.
I just don't think they see that in him. And I think if they did see that in him, I think we all know where he would be signed right now. And he wouldn't be in AEW right now. WWE would have scooped him back up.
Or scooped him up. Yeah, I don't think they would show the same value in him that he wants them to. I would definitely think they would give him, a Mania match, and
Oh
obviously
yeah,
he'd work with, them
Cody.
for the figure, obviously, but and Cody and whatnot. But like you said, they wouldn't. I mean, look what they're doing with fucking people like Andrade and all that. If they're not fucking showing value in a lot of guys that they are. Sadly, they're not going to do it for Matt, man. They got the people they like, and they're going to stick with it. And they got the people coming up that they like that I think they would rather go with, man. So, if I was him, I'd find a way to work out a appearance deal or a very short-term deal, to get all the stuff he wants to get done. But I wouldn't think a permanent stay in either of these companies would be good.
Yeah, I don't know if I know I don't know if he would want to specifically do this, but I think this could be a good way to maybe get WWE to maybe see that in him, and is NXT. And I know
Yeah.
it's Matt Cardona, and it just him in NXT just doesn't sound right, but it's wide open. He can work with a lot of
Mhm.
those guys down there and help a lot of those guys down there.
Nope.
Sort of what Ethan Page is doing. Is Ethan Page
Yeah.
main roster ready? You fucking bet he's main roster
Fuck.
ready. But he went to NXT to sort of get his foot back in the door, or well, for Ethan, in the door in the first place, and sort of just kind of make his name in NXT. And I don't know if that would help Matt Cardona, but if he goes straight to the main roster, I just don't think they see that value in him. And I think if they did, he would be there already by now. I think if he gets lucky, he could become a world heavyweight champion. I just don't see them. I just don't
No.
see them giving him the WWE championship. And honestly, again, if he gets lucky, I see him holding the world heavyweight championship if there's an opening, or around the time he does go back to the WWE. But honestly, what I see Matt Cardona doing is the mid card championships, which isn't a
Mhm.
bad thing, but I know to him, that's what he was doing his whole career, if not lower, you know.
Exactly, and I do understand wanting to step up and not be
Yeah,
what a lot of people see the mid card as is like a barrier or a ceiling, which I don't think it is. When the mid card's doing great, it's usually the best thing on the show. Look at
could be.
earlier this year with like Gable and shit. That was literally the best shit on
Yes.
Raw at the time. So to me, it's not a ceiling, but I understand why people in the business do see it as a ceiling because they'll just get told, oh, you just won this, and you know how fucking people go. So,
Yeah.
if I was him, man, I would do a temporary deal with WWE, maybe short term, and keep doing what he's doing, man, because it's obviously working. He's making dough, he's making moves, and he's important, man. So, if I was him, I'd do something like that. But he's him. Whatever he's want to do, he can do, man. And I just really hope the best for him.
Yes, and if he did want to sign anything with AEW, it absolutely needs to be short term because
Hmm.
there's, I mean, look at everybody else that has signed long term with AEW. I mean, look at the
Oh,
fucking list. Look at how Andrade fared out. Look at Adam fucking Cole. Look at Malachi Black. Look at
he
Keith Lee. Okay.
Tony Khan de-swagged Adam Cole. That is crazy work.
And I don't know how long he signed for, but 3 months in, look at Ricochet. Okay. He is he should be regretting his deal about now. And to
He
Ricochet,
should have.
I say ha ha, because
Oh,
the only one that should be laughing is us at you because you got fucking played like a fiddle. Ha
oh
ha.
yeah. Oh, fucking Mickey Mouse over there.
Come on, bro.
Fucking horrid, dude. Can't actually low key can't wait to talk about Dynamite on one day just for that
Uh
fucking shit alone.
that I don't eat, bro.
Yeah.
What do you
Insane.
create some of the craziest work I've ever seen. However, Matt Cardona, if I were him, I would absolutely not sign to AEW unless it is a either per appearance or a mega short deal. If that's something
Hmm.
he does want to do. But honestly, if I'm him, I am continuing to grind it out on the indies until WWE comes knocking. Or if you really want to go back to WWE, go tear it up in NXT for a little bit and go remind them that you are not to be taken as a fucking mid carder and go
Exactly.
run that NXT division, go help some of those guys down there for a little bit, short term, and then see what WWE has for you on the main roster and see if that is see if that's something that is right for you. But Matt has stated this on many occasions. He needs to go back to WWE if the creative is right. And the
Hmm.
same sentiment should stand in AEW. You go to AEW if you can get your creative in writing, because do
Oh,
not let them fuck you over like they fucked everybody else before you over.
so many fucking people were fucked over. Like we said, dude. Look at all those names we listed off. Just watch Dynamite. You could see it. You guys aren't blind. You can fucking see it, man.
Yeah.
So and I think he's smart enough to fucking know that he would have to put his hand on the paper and that shit in the contract because fucking a.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. So if I'm Matt, if I'm signing anything right now, it is short term, and if WWE, really comes knocking, and they really want to do something with you, then go ahead, and we all know you want to do that. But another reason I really am scared for him to say, go to AEW. You don't think Tony Khan knows Matt Cardona wants to end his career in WWE? You don't think he
Oh,
knows that? Do you know how petty he's going to be to Matt Cardona?
imagine if he gets injured during his run. Time's gonna be at it. All that shit. He's gonna have to go through the ringer. He is.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I mean, it is. It's not a good situation if that's the case, and
No.
I would be strongly against an AEW move for Matt Cardona just because of, again, you get injured. You know, Matt Cardona was just injured, I think, 8 months with a torn pec or something. That's another 8 months on top of your deal.
And
You know,
exactly.
so he's gonna be petty. He's gonna be petty, and then besides that, look at how he's handled almost everybody's return this year. Julia Hart
Oh, of
came back on
course.
Collision. Jamie Hayter came back on a fucking pre-show. I mean, everybody handlings in AEW are not well right now, and creatively, it is not a fucking place to be. And I know creative matters to Matt Cardona,
It does.
more so over money. And if that's something you value, then keep it going on the indies until WWE comes a knocking, because AEW
It-
is not the place to creatively fulfill yourself.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%.
So yeah, TNA, TNA, man. According to PWInsider.com, Trent Seven has exited Impact Wrestling. Kushida has finished up with TNA Impact. Kushida closed out his run with the company over this past weekend. With his matches at TNA Final Resolution and the subsequent TV taping. Moving forward, Kushida will be primarily focused on New Japan Pro Wrestling. AJ Francis, his current deal with TNA Impact is set to expire at the end of 2024 unless a new deal is reached. Those spoken to have said both sides have enjoyed working together and an extension is possible. TNA Impact recently has been noted as to be asking multiple people to take pay cuts, which has led to a lot of people leaving the company.
Mhm. Damn. Fucking another TNA recession, man. Another TNA Great Depression. Um, Sucks to see, man. But at the end of the day, with the moves they were making backstage and the backstage people, obviously they got rid of. Um, it ended up being a detriment to them. People want to work with people like Scott Demore and whatnot. Only Demore's people want to work with, man. I mean, the people want to work with people like that, and they love that atmosphere of TNA, and it's leaving, and then they're doing pay cuts, and that's never a good thing. I mean, you don't want the fucking lights going out during one of your shows again, and that's what it's getting flashbacks to, and I'm sure a lot of people are getting flashbacks to that era, which is like one of the worst eras of any wrestling company ever, and people don't want that, man, and people are on their way out, and you can't blame them at all, man. With the rise of a place like Maple Leaf, at the end of the day, AEW does exist, WWE exists. People want to go to all these places. New Japan will always want to take more people, man. So it's not a good thing for TNA, and with the landscape of the business, they're really not helping themselves here. And they were doing good for a little bit, man. They had Scott. They rebranded back to TNA. They were doing good. They were pretty hot, and they're squandering it, man. And that sucks to see, man. But a lot of people that work for them are making the smart move, and they're out, man. They see a sinking ship, and they don't want a part of it, man. So a lot of them, I think, are making a smart decision, and I'm very curious to see where a lot of them goes, man. But what do you think about all this TNA stuff?
I'll say I am very I'm very interested to see. First of all, I'm very interested to see where Trent Seven goes, because there is a guy on the main roster that goes by the name of Pete Dunne, who is also in affiliation with another guy on the main roster by the name of Tyler Bate. And I would
Mm.
love to see WWE bring in British Strong Style, Pete Dunne as a single, move him to another brand or move him away from R-Truth. I don't care what you have to do. We need to take him seriously, and we need to get Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven as a tag team. But If I'm being 100% honest, I know a lot of people prefer Pete over Tyler Bate. I'm of the opposite. I
And
prefer Tyler Bate over Pete Dunne personally. I love both of them,
oh yeah.
but I I would really love to see Pete Dunne and Trent Seven take over the tag team role with Tyler Bate as the singles, because I just think Tyler Bate can get mega over on the main roster with the way he wrestles. He needs a little bit more personality, which
Mhm.
Pete has down. Pete, I think, in terms of the personality department, is takes the edge over Tyler Bate. But I just in general would love to see Trent Seven and
Mhm.
back in
And
WWE with British Strong Style.
and I think he's got a lot of stuff in his moveset. I know Punk might not like that word, man, but in that moveset that a lot of people do like the bop and bang, that one where he like jumps off the ropes with his shoulders.
Oh,
That
banger.
shit'll get over real quick on the main roster, man. So use a guy like him, man. And Trent Seven, love him. Think he's great.
Hmm.
I really hope he comes back. I love Mustache Mountain or strong style or
British Strong.
British strong style. That whole combination of those guys, that theme song, a Mustache Mountain, bro.
Oh,
Give me that back. Please give me that back. But fucking they were phenomenal back in NXT, man, and I would love to see more of them, and I really hope he comes back and they could get all this moving, man.
100%.
How,
100%.
how,
Huh.
how long does Tyler Bates still look to be out with his injury? Because isn't he injured right now?
He got injured earlier this year. I want to say it was around Mania time, and he was said to
I,
be out like 9 months. So
ah,
maybe
yeah,
around Rumble.
yeah, maybe they come back together. That'd be really cool. Don't know when
Mm.
he is like officially leaving TNA, but
Yeah.
if they want to do this,
He's,
get the ball rolling, dude,
yeah.
and get them back together.
Yeah. According to PW Insider, he's done. So,
Mhm. Good. Let's get this ball rolling. Sign him and keep him in your pocket like you did Jacob Fatu until you wanna
yes.
throw him out, man.
Yep. Uh, You're talking about Jacob Fatu. They have like fucking half of the fucking family in their pocket. They got fucking Lance Envoi,
Yeah,
Hikaleo, Zilla Fatu. They got, this fucking
they're all
story's
in
gonna
their
go on
fucking
for
pocket.
everybody's in their fucking pocket. um,
Oh, dude, this story's never gonna end, dude. Jacob's got like 7 kids.
yeah.
Fucking,
Oh,
they all
I
got
was
fucking at least like 5 kids.
I was gonna say
Fucked.
Roman's baby twins are in the baby twins that have got to be like 3 or 4 years older in their pocket right now. The next
You know
Usos, I
they
can
are.
see it already.
Oh, you could already see it. The fucking next Uso. Oh, dude, it's gonna be insane. Literally gonna have like 5 Usos at the same time. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fucking. It's gonna be crazy. It really is gonna be the Samoan dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well renaming the bloodline to the Samoan dynasty because that's the scale you need.
Seriously, bro. As for Kushida, he's gonna go back to do his New Japan stuff and do his thing, so I'm excited for him. As for AJ Francis, I know he wants to go back to WWE, bro. I'm sorry, no knock on the guy, but I just don't think he's
I
that
just don't
good.
see it.
I know he
No,
I know he I know he thinks he's the best heel in the business, but personally, I just don't
you
see that.
know, you know that one wrestling tuber, Brandon. Apparently he's wrestling now. He just
Yes.
cooked AJ Francis today on Twitter. He said at least I had gold, and he posted with his YouTube plaque. So
Damn.
everyone's cooking that man. So I don't see him doing. Maybe he go to Maple Leaf, man. Maybe Scott will take him.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that to Maple Leaf, bro. I'm sorry,
Uh,
but as for them and their pay cuts, I honestly think with the WWE partnership, we started hearing about them bringing a bunch of people in after the WWE partnership. I honestly think they bit off a little bit more than they can chew. And
I
we all
think
know
they did.
and then we all know they're losing Josh Alexander. So I
Yeah.
honestly think that they are. I think they bit off more than they can chew, and I think that the WWE partnership happened, and everything that Scott D'Amore did for the promotion. I think they were all giddy, like, "Oh, Scott put us on, and he really put us back on the map. Let's get rid of him, and now we're big again." And once Scott left, a lot of
No,
the
you gotta keep
morale went
moving.
down, not completely, it was still a nice place to
No.
work, but it wasn't
Mhm.
to the hype that Scott D'Amore had it at. And they started bringing all these people in, Nick Nemeth and Trent Seven, and we started hearing about all these people coming back into TNA. We're hearing about Tessa Blanchard now, and it's just like, I honestly think that they had to take a step back and say like, oh, okay, I think we bit off more than we can chew here. Which, I mean, they're drawing good crowds, and you know they might be in a position where they can sign a lot more people. They're bringing in a lot more revenue, but I think it might have just been a bit too much. I think it might have
I
been a
think
bit too much.
yeah, I think they definitely bit off more than they could chew. I think they got too they got too cocky. That's really what
Yeah.
it is.
100%, 100%, man. But you know, they are losing a lot of people, and I'm excited to see where these people go. Wrestling's so healthy today, though. You
It
know,
is.
because you know, for as much as the promotion has went down since Demore left, you know, it's still it still is a good place to work. You know, and there still is a lot of places you could work, bro. Again, AEW, WWE, Maple Leaf, TNA.
Mm,
If you want to do just the bigger, smaller indies, you have AAW here in Chicago.
exactly.
You have House of Glory out of New York. You have Reality of
AAA.
Wrestling out of Houston. You have AAA, CMLL, SoCal Pro out of California. So there's just so much places, so much independence to work. MLW, you know, again, the list goes on. The list goes on as to places to work, bro. So regardless, it's a healthy fucking environment, man, and that's all you like to see.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
um the next bit of TNA news, man, it has ruffled a lot of feathers. Tessa Blanchard,
Oh man.
wow, we got this news last week, and I was hearing so much commotion about Tessa Blanchard. I said, you know what? Let me not put this on the news, bro, because
Well,
I had a feeling TNA, after seeing the reaction, might have pulled her. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, I'm gonna see if they actually debut her, because when the news broke that she flew into Atlanta for final resolution, I said to myself, after seeing the online commotion, they might pull her because of the commotion. Well, they did not. So now we're running the story, bro. So PW Insider is reporting that Blanchard flew into Atlanta, Georgia yesterday and will be a part of the Final Resolution pay-per-view and TV taping. The word amongst talent in the company intends for Blanchard to work with Jordan Grace initially. Feifel then came out and said the plan is for Tessa to be involved with Impact by next month, which obviously, you know, she ended up debuting that same night, where she is slated to work against Jordan Grace. Grace had pushed back on the idea of working with Blanchard. The current plan is for Blanchard to return to the company as a heel. The plans for Tessa Blanchard to return to TNA Impact have been in motion for the last 2 weeks. The decision of a top person in Anthem, the decision was of a top person in Anthem, the parent company of TNA, and they were warned by others in the company. It is not the work of New Anthem. It is not the work of New Anthem president Carlos Silva. Okay.
right.
Well, I can say on one hand, this is very risky by TNA, because if you guys remember, Tessa, well, not even, you know, to not even open the all the racist stuff up yet. If you're talking from just a workplace perspective, back in 2020, this woman literally won the world championship and then proceeded to refuse to give it back for 2 months, to then, when she was stripped of the title. That in itself is a risky situation, because again, if you're not even taking into account all the allegations of the racist remarks and whatnot and spitting in people's faces and whatever she was doing, if you're talking strictly from a workplace perspective, that's already a risky move because you are again running a risk of Tessa Blanchard fucking you over again, because
Mhm.
now that's not to say that she couldn't have changed, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But let's talk about the racist allegations and all this stuff. Tessa Blanchard was in a position a couple years ago where she was set to be an absolute stud. I mean, genuinely one of the best. Like we talked about her a couple months ago, when we were bringing up an example of somebody who had it all,
Fucking
and
mhm.
they,
Charlotte was copying her. That's how
yeah,
crazy she was going.
yeah,
Charlotte copied her.
yes, bro. Tessa Blanchard was in a position a couple of years ago where she just, I mean, exuded a superstar. And again, we all know where she was headed. We all knew at the time where
Mhm.
she was headed. She was headed to WWE. She was headed to NXT. They were licking their fucking chops waiting for Tessa Blanchard to come back into or to be signed to their promotion, rather. Then all the racist allegations came out. When I tell you Tessa Blanchard went about that in the
Mhm.
worst fucking way possible, because at the time that it happened, I believe we were a year or a couple of years past that.
Mhm.
All Tessa had to do, all she had to do, genuinely,
Say sorry.
was say sorry. I was young, dumb. I was stupid. I made this. Da 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 da. I did this. I regret these decisions. This was, I apologized for this to the person that I did this to. Then the person she did it to basically alluded on social media that there was no apology.
Yep.
And then all these other women came out, because I remember there was a tweet and Tessa said something along the lines of women should support women. And everybody came out and was like, well, that's funny because you
Yeah.
did this to me. You bullied me, this and this and this. She proceeded to then double down and say all these people were lying. You mean to tell me multiple locker rooms across multiple states, across multiple countries, across multiple promotions, across multiple continents, all these people are lying?
Everybody's lying. Like she really did fuck herself over with all that shit because she handled it horribly, man. I mean, just horribly bad. She tried to lie on it instead of simply, like you said, just apologizing. Say I was dickhead at the time. I was an asshole. I was this and that, and trying to work on that. I'm sorry. You could apologize to the people you did it to, and nope. She lied about apologizing, and then doubled down about everyone was lying on her, and then there was a lot of reputable women that she was doing that to. I know, there's like three in WWE now that she was doing it to. There's
I
Chelsea
remember
Green.
Chelsea.
Yeah, she was one of them.
I
I think
think
was it,
Gigi Dolan was another one.
and then was it it was another woman that's kind of I think she got called up. She's either in the next year she got called up. I don't know if it's Blair Davenport or
Might have.
was it
Oh, it might have been.
or was it the other one I always confuse her with? It was someone else. At least three women in WWE. There was like four other women out there outside of It's not a binge. To this day, she never apologized. And even a lot of those said women say that's all it takes is just apologize. And that's all she's got to do. And she still is refusing to do that. And she's hard to work with. She doesn't like, not going over. She held a title for 2 months to the point where they had to strip it from her. That's never a good thing to work with, man. And at this point, all the fans don't like her either. So there's not much money to bring her in to where, obviously, I'm gonna bring up someone, and what he did wasn't nearly as bad. But you got someone like Punk who's around controversy. Some people say he's hard to work with. Obviously, that all ended up being disproven in WWE. But
Yeah.
there was a risk and a reward factor. If you're getting CM Punk, you're getting money, you're getting eyes, you're getting viewership. He's the draw in this modern era. He really is, and you get a risk and reward factor. Is there really a reward factor in Tessa Blanchard right now with the fan reaction she gets? Maybe you could come around to her over time with matches and
Yeah.
whatnot, but that's that's if she apologizes and she gets people to come around to her. That's what she's got to do, man. So it's a risk and a reward, and I don't know if it's gonna pay off, man. I think all she's got to do is just apologize, acknowledge what you did, and try to move on, man. But you're gonna ignore the past, and that's never a good thing to do, man. But
Yeah.
it sucks, man. What do you think she should do, and what do you think that might happen? What might happen with her with said companies?
Look at how, in the court of public opinion, how fucked Velveteen Dream was for the better part
Mm-hmm.
of 3 years. And what did it take for people to start coming around to him again? An apology. An
Yeah.
apology
Yeah.
for his actions. He came out, and then Velveteen had a lot of other baggage. He had came out and disproven most of the stuff that was talked about him, and even stated, look, I wasn't fired from WWE because of sexual allegations or whatever, because they couldn't find anything, because the accounts were troll accounts or whatever the case was. But in terms of his backstage antics and him just being an asshole to people, he apologized. He said, look, I'm sorry. I made a mistake, and I fucked over, my career, and I ruined a lot of people's trust. Tessa Blanchard fucked herself over hard, and
Mm-hmm.
she put herself in a very hard position. Man. And a lot of times, man, especially with the women that you hurt, all it would have taken was, look, there is no excuse I can give because it's unacceptable. But what I can say is I'm sorry, and a lot of that's what it would have taken for people to come around to Tessa Blanchard again. I feel, because we all make mistakes. Whether they're big or whether they're small. In this case, it's a big one, and you couldn't even apologize. All you had to do was double down and ignore it. I mean, that's just not cool, and that's never a way to go about anything. That's never a way to go
Well,
about anything, man. And it just and it sucks, because she is very talented, but
jeez.
she's very talented. But at the end of the day, man, you cannot let these sort of things get ahead of you, bro, and
No,
overtake your talent. And in this case, she did.
she did.
And it is because of the negligence of the situation, man. Is all it fucking took. All it took
Um,
was for you to swallow your pride. I don't care of how big of a star you think you are, or whatever, or how how you view yourself, or too good to apologize, or I don't care. I mean, put the ego to the side, bro. I mean, if
you
you're in
want a career, you got to do it.
exactly, if you want a career in the public spotlight, and if you actually want to be a huge name in this business, did you honestly think you were going to make it that far and keep that sort of attitude up in WWE anyway someday? You had to have dropped it at some point, so you might as well
Mhm.
apologize for it while you're fucking at it. So
Exactly.
with Tessa, this is interesting, because we are in a situation where a lot of baggage, a lot of reward. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's for TNA,
Mm,
but a lot of reward could come out of Tessa Blanchard.
you can.
It very
A
well
lot.
could. But what is going to have to happen for the reward to come out? If she's not going to apologize, she is going to have to show us that she is sorry, and she is going to have to go a long time without hearing any sort of backstage commotion around her return. And there was another instance, I believe she was supposed to be the face of Women of Wrestling, the rebrand
Mhm.
of Women of Wrestling. And then she ended up publicly berating one of the women backstage, I remember, and then she was gone. She
Yeah.
was done with
Yeah.
the promotion.
Yep.
So,
Not a good track record of someone to work with, man. A lot of ego, a lot of just being a dick to people for no reason, and that's never a good thing to have in a business like this, man. go blacklist yourself, and she damn near did it. And she got her one chance, and one mess up with her, and it's over with.
Yes, and it also doesn't help when you have your coworkers calling people fat asses because they're upset that somebody who did not apologize and went completely about their situation the wrong way um back in the company. You have again coworkers calling people fat asses and all this type of stuff. I mean, this it's already not a good look. And again, and again, man, I hope it works out, and I hope she really have I hope she really got her shit together, because I hope she really got her shit together, man, because she's very talented, and she's going to, if she's at least not going to say it, she's going to have to show that she's sorry and that she truly got her shit cleaned up. But at the end of the day, man, you know, this is a huge risk TNA is taking, and I hope it works
Hmm.
out for her because Tessa is very talented, bro. But at the end of the day, man, this is this is something where we are really gonna have to wait and see on. But did TNA go about this the right way? In my opinion, not at all, bro.
No, they just brought her back, showed her off, and that's not a good person you want to show off, man. No apology, no nothing.
Yeah. So hope it works out for him, but I don't know. This is Tessa Blanchard we're talking about, and with Tessa Blanchard talks a huge risk that you are running,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, don't be
No, no payoff.
yes, don't be surprised to see them get fucked over again. But why is
Mm-hmm.
Tessa Blanchard working with promotions in the States again all of the sudden? Well,
Mm.
according to the Observer. Oh, the other thing. The fact that Jordan Grace pushed back to work with Tessa Blanchard, that is a huge slap in the face to Jordan Grace. I'm sorry, bro. Jordan did not want to work with her, and on the way out, you're having Jordan put her, of all people, over somebody she didn't want to work with after everything Jordan Grace did for
She's
the
known
promotion.
for the past 10 years. You do that? That's crazy work to send someone off like that, man. That's not a good way to send people off. That's gonna get people. People are friends with her in
Yep.
business. People are not gonna want to continue to work there or go to work there. That's not a good thing to do to people on their way out.
100%. Very bogus work done to Jordan Grace here. So,
Very.
according to the Observer, there are people in WWE interested in working with Tessa Blanchard. And there it is. There it is. There are women within there's women in WWE who want to work with her. There are some who don't, but I know there are a lot who do. There are and he also goes on to say, I don't he says there may be some who don't, but there are a lot who do, and she's very controversial for all the reasons everybody knows. But nonetheless, WWE still takes interest in Tessa Blanchard. Um,
Very risky, man. Very risky.
so it all made sense to me when you hear the reports of WWE being interested in Tessa Blanchard. Is it far fetched to think that they wanted to maybe talk TNA into giving her another shot first before they do?
Mm. So they can kind of gauge how that would go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe TNA is the test. Now, not really just for her and for TNA, but for to see how the people react to that, what they think. And I think that's why she went there. So for WWE to test it out, man, because I feel like they might be getting too cocky with this. I feel like to them, they see, look what happened with Punk. Punk was a bad person or all this with AEW. Came to AEW, came back to WWE. He's a saint, phenomenal to work with. Talent love him, besides like KO. Talent love him, fans love him. Company likes working with them, and I think they see that, and I think they could do that same thing with Tessa, but it's different with Tessa. Punk was just
Yes.
toxic to work with backstage.
Punk was just
Tessa,
fighting people.
he was just choking people out a little bit, and crazy. He's just choking people out a little bit. Tessa, that's a whole rabbit hole of you got racism in there, you got fucking like Hogan in there, where it's like hard to work with, not wanting to put people over, making companies look bad, making people look bad. That's very different from the Punk situation. I feel like they got cocky with this Punk stuff, where he's great in that company, he's phenomenal. I think they could do it with Tessa, but I think they're a little over and over their heads because she's got to put in the work to
Yes.
apologize. And once that happens, then yeah, I think it would pay off. I think she'd go over there and work great. But if she's refusing to do any of that, and I don't think it'll work out too well.
Yeah, and again, she's really, and if I'm WWE, I'm waiting at least a year. At
Hmm.
least a
You
year, to
gotta
the point
wait.
you got to prove it to me, you got to prove it to the company, you got to prove it to the audience. You're not on that bullshit no more. You're good to work
Hmm.
with. You're a good person, and that's something Tessa has to do herself, bro. And it's gonna be completely on her. And if it falls on her, if it falls flat on its face, then she's going to have nobody to blame but herself, because here she is getting another shot that most people do not get. Okay,
No, they don't.
most people do not get a second, a third chance like this. Okay, and um
She's
she
got it,
is,
and
yeah, I
sorry, not
mean,
too well.
she is really gonna have to prove, she is really gonna have to fucking prove to people that she has changed, and that she is easy to work with, and that she can be a great person to have employed on your roster in this business in 2024. Because if not, she's gonna have nobody to blame but herself. But I could very well see WWE sort of talking TNA into maybe giving her another chance so they can see how it goes, because, then WWE won't have to deal with the backlash, which is pretty bogus on
Mm.
WWE's part. But I
Oh, they're
could see
using.
it. Oh God, this whole relationship has been one sided, bro. But
It's so fucked, dude. They are fucking destroying TNA for their own gain, and TNA, they're, at the end of the day, they're doing it to themselves. They're letting them happen. Yeah, anyone with a brain could see past it, so
yeah.
they're letting it happen. So I really don't feel bad, but like, damn.
Oh yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, WWE. At the end of the day, WWE wins, because if they don't get Tessa Blanchard, well, then they got Jordan Grace, and if they do get Tessa Blanchard, then they finesse TNA into giving Tessa Blanchard the trial run to see if she can handle being a part of a major wrestling promotion in this day and age. So either way, WWE
Hmm.
wins, and TNA is either way, TNA is getting talent stolen from them. So either
Hmm.
that or they're getting fucked over. So this is sort of a lose
Oh,
lose for TNA, but they put themselves in the situation.
oh, 100%, man. 100%, man. So hey, it's a test, man, and we'll see how it goes, man. I wish the best for everybody, but
Yeah,
I don't know if they wish the best for themselves. So we'll just see with time.
yeah, and again, I really do. Yeah, I'm with Sir K on this, man. I really do wish the best to everybody involved, but it's just going to be very interesting to see, because this could work
Hmm.
out great for Tessa, and she could find herself in WWE, or she could find herself being in the position yet again where the only person to fuck over Tessa Blanchard's career is Tessa Blanchard.
Is herself. Exactly.
So that is everything for outside of WWE type news, man. And with that, an official word from your sponsor, your official sponsor of the Notorious Heels podcast, W Energy. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics, formulated for anyone trying to improve focus without getting the old jitters, man. Get the old jitters. W Energy is a clean formula zero sugar, zero calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving, man. You can now get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% off your W Energy purchase, man. Thank you to W. Shout out to them as always for being the official sponsor of NHP, man. Yep, shout out to W, man. Legends.
To you guys. Truly are legends, like you say. Drinking it now, man. And I say it every time, and it might get repetitive, man. But fucking A, are they useful on Wednesday nights with the dynamite, man? So truly, thank you guys for coming in at the most needed time.
Yes, sir. Shout out to W, man. Official sponsor of NHP. Well, speaking of more allegations, WWE head of media and productions, Lee Fitting. According to The Athletic, Lee Fitting, the head of media and production, is facing allegations of misconduct from his time with ESPN. The report states that while working at ESPN, he made comments objectifying women and criticized their physical appearance and made crude jokes, some sexual in nature. The report suggests that this led to his dismissal from the company in August of 2023. He would then go on to join WWE in January of 2024. WWE gave no comment regarding the allegations towards Fitting. The Athletic also went on to state that a WWE spokesperson had no comment on the allegations against Fitting, whilst Fitting, through a spokesperson, did decline to comment. Now, what was the backstage reaction to WWE's decision to stand by Lee Fitting during these allegations? According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE knew about Fitting's alleged past when they brought him on board, with one source bluntly stating it was the baggage that comes with the hire. Yeah, you ain't lying. Another source compared Fitting's situation to that of former executives Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. I think that might be who faced sexual assault and trafficking allegations earlier this year. Despite the controversial optics, WWE's focus appears to be on Fitting's praised contributions to their programming rather than his reported history. Well, this is alleged now. You know, obviously nothing is for certain. This is something WWE should have absolutely, and you know, they are very blunt and very true to say it was the baggage that comes along with the hire. It is. It is. He's been great, you know. And if you're talking specifically from his work, he has been great. However, this is absolutely something WWE should have had their finger on the pulse of. I mean, with everything surrounding Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know if this is a bit extra. Again, we don't know much. To compare Lee Fitting's situation to theirs, I think that may be a little overkill. But again, who's to say? Because we overall do not know. Personally, that just sounds a bit extra to me. Yeah.
What seems to be just a creepy asshole to fucking Vince McMahon is a
Yeah.
little much, man. But it's still, at the end of the day, right after coming off a situation like that where you
Yes.
say you're trying to, have a different, environment for this company, you hire someone like that, it's just not going to be a good look. And I really don't know why you would even want that baggage, as you say, in the first place. I don't understand. He must be incredible at his job, man, because he's got to be fucking producing the Bloodline story at that point for you to do this, man. But at the end of the day, I feel like you'd always find people to take that creative role and do just as good, if not better. There's so many creative people out there. I don't know if you want to look like that, hiring someone like that, but they are, and in a way they're keeping them, man. So it's a really confusing situation. Would not think they would act this way so fast, at least coming off of all that Vince stuff, man. So it's really weird to see that, and it's really just jarring to not think they would make a decision like that. But maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe maybe they know more than us. But I think only time will tell, man. But what do you think about all this leaf fitting stuff?
Yeah, the first thing that popped into my head through all this, dude, is how the hell do you not have your finger on the pulse and at least hold off on signing this guy,
Yeah.
after all this was sorted out? I mean, you mean to tell me you go through a period in this company earlier this January where shit was in the dumps, you know, um,
Hmm.
business wise? The company was at an all time embarrassment after all the Vince McMahon stuff. I mean, how many times did a story come out where somebody higher up in TKO had to reassure an interviewer, "Hey, we understand everything about Vince McMahon. We have no affiliation to him," and they ousted him from the company
Yeah.
as soon as all that shit happened. So to think you brought in a guy with the same, not the same baggage, but you brought in a guy with any sort of sexual harassment attached to his name is
Hmm.
boggling to me, because you could say Lee Fitting is great at his job, and he is. I mean, he is. I've praised his work. I think what is his work in terms of a production standpoint has been absolutely on par. There
Yeah.
are fucking tens of thousands of more people you could have brought in that are going to do a phenomenal job in production, have great ideas, and if not better.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at the prime of NXT. Those were they had the college kids fucking running the production of Prime NXT with
yep,
the camera work and the product, and it was literally some of the best shit ever. So
yes.
it's one of those things where you could find people to fill those roles. Why you would choose someone with that baggage, with your company's history, is like you said, mind-boggling to me. I don't know why you would make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, if WWE is trying to stand by him, then they must be ready for some smoke, or they must really feel that he's innocent. Either that, or they just do not care, which again is
Yeah.
mind fucking boggling to me. Coming out of all the Vince shit, the same month that all the Vince stuff popped off, you decided to bring in a guy with some sort of sexual harassment baggage. Which, if you wanted to bring him in, okay, wait till his shit is cleared first. Don't
Literally.
wait till his shit is sorted out and it is stamped, signed, sealed, and approved that he is an innocent man. But to bring somebody on with the baggage, and I mean, again, this is alleged, nothing's for sure yet. So, I mean, it very well could be, false, but just again, even tiptoeing around that topic around the same time the Vince stuff was happening is a bad look, bro. It's a bad look. And again,
Hmm.
you could have got there are tens of thousands. I'm sure. Do you know how many applications they probably got for their head of media and
Well,
global production?
in the thousands, I'm sure. And probably a lot of those were just fucking wrestling fans or fucking marks and shit that you could
Yeah.
easily just, yeah,
Yeah.
they're not gonna, but you got people with, degrees in production and
Yep.
whatnot all coming to you, and you got dozens of people. I mean, look at look at the movie scene. Look how each director is so unique with their movies. You could get that level and by anybody, and you're just continuing with a guy with that baggage. Like you said, man, just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand why you would do that.
Yeah, so that is a rookie fucking move on WWE's part, if you ask me, bro. Um However, speaking of something production wise that has been happening on WWE television, man, we have been seeing these very, very weird, very interesting
Mm,
vignettes on Monday Night Raw
right.
as of late. The zero with the line crossed through it, right? According to WrestleVotes on Backstage Pass, all signs point that the zero with the slash vignette, which aired on Monday Night Raw, is for Pentagon's eventual debut within the WWE. The debut is likely to happen on Monday Night Raw on Netflix premiere on January 6th, 2025. Well,
And
I also do want to throw in a little bit 2 cents before I hear what you want to think, because I want to hear what you want to think. But I've been hearing rumors he could possibly be feuding with Rey Mysterio going into Mania. How do you feel about that? Who would you feud him with? And do you like that? Do you dislike that? Talk to me.
I'm very excited. I like it. I'm gonna have a question for you because that zero got me intrigued. But I like the idea of him facing Ray as long as he's not with Ray and with the LWO and just being a happy little guy, with
Come
those
on, man.
happy little
You
guys.
don't want him in the LWO with Mr. Dragon Lee?
Dragon League is basically an AEW because we don't fucking see the poor guy.
Oh,
Um,
so talented.
LWO is a fucking failure, dude. Like I said before with the LWO a couple months ago, man, you can't have a World Order faction and them just be a bunch of happy dorky baby faces. That negates the whole point of a World Order faction. So in my eyes, the LWO is a complete creative fail by WWE. So as long as he's not joining them, I'm down, and I like the idea of him facing Ray. New generation, next generation, or old generation, new generation type deal. I like that idea. I like that comparison. And I like, the story they could tell, Ray, he's older, obviously he's baby face. He had squabbles with his son, and maybe he doesn't have that edge to him anymore. And you got someone like Penta coming in. If he's coming in as a heel, or just obviously he'll have a darker vibe to him. He's gonna be a little more tougher, a little more cutthroat, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and I really like the idea of him facing Ray and facing the LWO again. As long as he doesn't join them, I'm cool with it. I like the idea of him on Raw. I do like that, and I love the look. I think that the vignette is obviously for him. They always had that like fiery look to them with like fire in their trons and whatnot. So I definitely think it's for him. But with the Zero, I'm gonna ask you this: of what name do you think he's gonna come in as? Because he's had that problem in AEW is having 5 different names in one year. But
Yeah.
with the Zero, personally, I would like him to be Pentagon Junior. But with that Zero, I think he's gonna be some type of Penta Zero Miero or something like that, man. So, what do you think he's gonna come in as in terms of name and identity?
Well, I'm gonna steal this from you because you said this on Unscripted. The very first time we seen this vignette, it was either last week or 2 weeks ago. You had just blurted out, and I don't know if you did this intentionally, but you had blurted out the name Penta Zero.
I like it.
I would love that, but do I would love I don't know if you intentionally meant to do that, or if you just blurted that out, but you had said
That's
Penta
fire.
Zero, and I really like that. Um, I would do something like Penta Zero, or personally, man, I would just maybe keep it simple, maybe something like Pentagon Junior.
I would love Pentagon Junior. I would love the full Pentagon instead of just Penta. That's just a little thing for me, though.
Yeah, and yeah, either one of those two. I always liked Pentagon. I always liked when he was Pentagon or Pentagon Junior.
Hmm.
I like that. But Pentagon Zero or Penta Zero, I think makes sense. But I personally, man, I just like Penta as a nickname. I like the full name to
And
be Pentagon. You know, so yeah, I mean that's just personally what I would do. I would either do some variation of Pentagon Zero or Penta Zero, either that or Pentagon Junior, one of those, as long as he's
yeah.
not Penta L0M, Penta L0 Miedo, Penta Oscuro, Penta fucking L fucking Booking Wasteland. I don't, as long as he's not any one of those, then I'll be
I'm
fine with
fine
it.
with it.
So
Exactly, man. Exactly.
so yeah, like I said, some sort of Pentagon Junior or Pentagon Zero, I would like, but I think we all knew the vignette is for him. We all speculated
Hmm.
that, and as far as him debuting on that Raw on Netflix, that sounds like a plan to me, bro. For people that
Hmm.
don't know him, That
Oh, they're
look,
gonna.
that fucking look of the mask, the black and white mask with the white face paint at the mouth, with the
Yeah.
black
Mm.
paint around the eyes, it's a cool look. And
Oh, dude.
I think people are gonna love him. I think people are gonna love him. And Rey
Mm.
Mysterio talked very highly of, a couple of years ago. He talked very highly of Rey Fenix being the future of lucha libre, and Rey Fenix being
Mm-hmm.
one of the best luchadors. And in that AEW style, I think we did see the best of it, but I also think we've seen the worst of it. Of just how, just too crazy they can be. And that's why I'm so excited for them to come to WWE, because that style is going to be tame, but they're still going to wrestle their style. And I think they're going to do
Definitely.
awesome under the WWE style, where they're not moving at fucking 1,000 miles a
Not
minute
him.
and just going fucking absolute guns blazing, balls to the walls, sort of style. I think is going to be tame, and I think it's going to be great. But as for Penta, I think people are going to love him. Those are the names I would go with. I do think we're going to see him at Raw on Netflix. And as far as him feuding with Rey Mysterio, um, I'll tell you this, I would rather him feud with Rey than be in the
Mm-hmm.
faction, because we all see what's happening to Dragon Lee. Okay, that man is just absolutely dead in the water in the fucking LWO. Why they put him in that group, I have no idea. The people want to see him, the people like him, and you
I like
are
him.
putting him against, or you're putting him in the LWO. The group is dead. Nobody cares about it. It sucks. It's
Mm-hmm.
atrocious. It's horrible. It's a horrible group. Um and I would absolutely feud him with Ray, though. I would feud him with Ray. I think that's a solid feud, and I think that's for a lot of people, Ray is the greatest mask of all time. Ray is the greatest mask of all time, and to feud Penta right out the gate with Ray, I think is a good move.
I think it's a good move. I think it'll be a good look. And like you said, I think he's gonna get over instantly with that crowd, that look, the way he wrestles, his vibe, the zero fear, all that stuff. That shit's gonna catch on so fucking fast.
Yeah, and with that look, if you're feuding him with Ray, I'm assuming he's going to be a heel. Him
The
as a
villain.
heel with that look, I mean, you're
Oh,
you're you're asking for him to get over.
he's gonna get over fucking instantly, and it's gonna be great, dude. I cannot wait for him to debut, man.
Yeah, because it's gonna fizzle out if you have this fucking guy come in, joining the LWO as just one of the happy guys hanging out with Ray, and man, we're so happy we got our LWO shit on. We're just so happy to revitalize the group, and no,
We're just so happy and
yeah, absolutely not.
fucking exactly.
So that is that. That is all the stuff surrounding Pentagon, and then it looks like the vignettes are for him, man, as we know, man. So speaking of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, Logan Paul. Uh, excuse me here. Had a long list to shuffle through today. Okay. According to the WWE Netflix kickoff event, Logan Paul has been moved to the Raw brand ahead of its debut on Netflix, and he has declared himself a future WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know that one, buddy.
Are you excited to see Logan Paul move over to Netflix? If so, who do you want to see him face, and what do you see on the table for Logan Paul, man? Do you see him as a future World Heavyweight Champion?
No, that United States run was fucking horrible. I think it soured me on him, to be honest. I think it soured a lot of people on him, and I don't think the company liked that run either. I mean, yeah, he brought it to things, but he wasn't on television. He was never fucking around to advertise back on the show itself. Um, so I think that US run was a failure. So I'm gonna say a definite no when it comes to being a world champ, at least anytime soon. And I'm not that excited, dude. I mean, there's a couple people he could go ahead and face, and that'll be cool, man. But he's just a match guy. He's a banger guy, and in WWE there's not a lot of those, so they can work, man. But
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of people I'd rather see that with, like a Braun Breaker or like a Dragunov, over a Logan Paul. And I don't really care about Logan anymore. He's all right on the mic. He has his moments, but he's not like great, but he's not bad. He's kind of there, man. So I'm not that excited to see him. Hopefully, this year can turn him around on me, and hopefully I do end up really liking him, and maybe I will. You never know, but at least right now, not that excited for people I want to see him face. Braun, I guess that'll be a fun match. Gunther would probably be a fun match to see Gunther fucking decimate him. Um, I mean, it's got good. Raw has good people. I'd like to see him face, man. But overall, I'm just not that excited to see him back, man. But what are you excited for him? Who do you think he's gonna face? And you think he's gonna be a world champ?
No, I don't. I think there's just no fucking way. I know he wants to be a workhorse. What his definition or what he thinks his definition of a workhorse is, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. Hopefully, it's what an actual workhorse is, but I honestly just don't see him being too much of a regular. Um,
Oh,
on the show, I honestly just don't see that for him. I could be wrong, and he could actually be a workhorse and be going crazy, and I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. But I mean, he is a match guy in WWE. He's not really the best on the mic, and he's not really got himself into a bunch of good stories. He's shown flashes of greatness. His feud with LA Knight was very good, being that those two are like very similar in certain ways, but also very opposite in most ways. And I thought that was great. I thought his stuff with Kevin Owens and stuff was good. His stuff with Ricochet was fucking hilarious. Last year. So he's shown flashes of greatness, and I would like to see him dabble back into telling stories because, he's a match guy and it can work in WWE because he's one of the only guys, but at the end of the day, that doesn't work for a regular on television. It works if you're a pay-per-view guy, but if you want to be a workhorse, you gotta, you gotta get yourself into stories, and you gotta learn how to, you gotta learn how to you got to learn how to access your longevity in terms of your storytelling. You can't just be in it to have a good match. You got to have
mm-hmm.
longevity, and with longevity means storytelling. So
Yeah,
that's what I think it will take for Logan. As for matches, I mean, obviously we know the Cena match is going to happen at some point. We know he wants that Cena match. You had mentioned Braun. I think Braun would be nice. I think a match with Jey Uso would be nice.
yeah,
Gunther would be a nice match. But other than that, man, I'm gonna keep a lookout to see if WWE attempts to tell any good stories with him. But do they do that? I don't know. It all depends on how Logan develops throughout the year.
exactly. He'll have to show us, I think, in 2025.
For sure, man. And speaking of Netflix, a new WWE behind the scenes series is coming to Netflix in 2025. We had heard about this previously, man, but it looks to be even more evident as there has been an official still image from Netflix from a for a WWE behind the scenes series. So I'm interested to see how far back they're going to peel the curtain, and if it could give
Mm-hmm.
us something similar to like Breaking Ground, where it kind of just brings us along people's journeys and stuff. I think it would. I think that'll be really cool.
Definitely, man. I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. I like the idea of it, and I hope, like you said, it peels back a lot of layers, and we just get to see, the people, how they react to stuff, how everything goes backstage, how the current regime looks backstage. I would really like to see all that type of stuff.
For sure, for sure, man. Now we had just talked about this man being involved in or at least one of the matches being involved with Logan Paul. John Cena, WWE EVP, Chris Legental confirmed that John Cena will be full-time in 2025 for his retirement tour, and that will include international dates as Cena is looking to give this retirement tour his all, as it is the run
Oh,
to close his career.
dude, the Cena International Pop, that is something I can't wait to see, dude. That
Bro,
shit's gonna be insane. I'm
uh,
excited.
yes. Yes, this is very exciting, bro. This is very exciting. We're getting John Cena back full time. We just talked about stories. We're
Oh,
just
it's
gonna
gonna be
this is gonna go nuts. This is gonna be a
gonna be so
retirement
raw,
run
dude.
for the ages. This is gonna be a retirement run for
Mhm.
the ages, and this is man, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. They're doing it big, and I just cannot wait to. I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see what happens here with this retirement tour, man. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm so excited for this, and we all know John Cena loves telling him some stories, bro. And I'm very excited to see what they have in store for us for his retirement run. And boy, is it going to be a sad one.
Oh, it's gonna be so sad. Especially come next December, dude. That shit, that Christmas season is gonna be a very sad Christmas season, I'll tell you that. But I'm excited. Next year's about to be a movie all year, feud to feud. It's gonna be incredible, and I can't wait, dude. I genuinely can't wait.
Yes, this is what we love from professional wrestling. We love professional wrestling. It's at its best when it makes us feel. It makes us feel,
Oh, it's at
man.
the
It
best
is,
when there's bangers.
yeah. It makes you feel. It makes you happy. It makes you sad. It makes you cry. It makes you mad. And in this case, this is going to make us
Makes me
very
mad every
sad.
Wednesday.
No,
Exactly.
that's a different type of mad. That is this company has no fucking lasting hope
Future.
mad. And I'm mad because I
Exactly.
miss what this company used to be. That's what that mad is.
Definitely, man. But I'm excited.
Very excited. Very excited, man. Moving over to some NXT Level Up. Speaking of sad, this is heartbreaking. This is the most heartbreaking news to come out of this to come
It
out of this
really is.
week of news, man. This is something that broke me when I read it, actually. Corey Brennan of Fightful announces that yesterday's NXT Level Up tapings were the last of the show's run.
It's a heavy heart, man. R.I.P. These networks are just.
Wow.
Was it on a network or was it just
I
like
don't I
Peacock?
think it was just on Peacock.
I think it was, but either way, they're getting rid of all the C shows, man. Rampage is done, NXT Level Up is done, and I think that's good. Just put these people on normal NXT. I don't think you have that length of roster in NXT anymore
Yeah.
to justify the NXT Level Up.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good decision, and who's really crying at this anyway?
Exactly. Exactly, man. See, now the only thing that does suck about this is, a lot of guys in NXT are a lot of guys it did get a lot of guys exposure in terms of like working,
Yeah.
getting to know how to learn the cameras. So I think that was a good thing, but I think too anybody they want to really get to learn how to work the camera is on regular NXT anyway. Um
Hmm.
and for anybody trying to get reps, I mean, these people train every day, and I mean, they do a lot of live events as it is for NXT for these guys to get reps. So, I mean, it is okay. At the end of the day, like I said, it does suck for some people because they're not learning anymore as much how to work the hard cam and work how the camera films you and all that stuff. But anybody that they want to learn the camera is going to film them anyway, like I said, is just on regular NXT. So, yeah.
Definitely. Exactly, man.
At the end of the day, I don't think this is news that's really going to make or break the developmental process.
No, I don't think it is. I think NXT will be fine.
Moving over to another weekly show, not NXT, but
Hmm.
SmackDown.
Hmm.
SmackDown, according to The Observer, the January 3rd edition of SmackDown will reportedly air on YouTube in much of the world, including the UK. This is due to the Netflix deal not starting until January 6th. So for one episode, for the folk in the UK, obviously us in the US, this doesn't concern us. We just watch on USA Network. But
Yeah.
For all you international folk, Bell included,
Hmm.
you will have to as soon as you're done watching us on YouTube, you will
Yeah.
have
Make sure you watch
to
this first.
yeah, exactly. You will have to keep your YouTube app opened and move over to SmackDown. As SmackDown will be airing on Netflix, or SmackDown will be airing on YouTube for one night only.
Yeah.
So that is that, and yeah, that is that. And then also with the news of that, WWE has officially announced that SmackDown here, well, not in the SmackDown in general, it will continue to air on the USA Network every Friday night at 8/7 Central in the US. Starting at the start of 2025, SmackDown will expand to 3 hours, starting with the January 3rd episode from Phoenix, Arizona. So, we've heard it every week. All the same fucking dirt sheets reported. SmackDown's moving to 3 hours. SmackDown's moving to 3 hours. As if this hasn't been reported for the past 2 months. We finally got and I told you guys way back when, because it kept coming out every week. SmackDown's moving to 3 hours. SmackDown's moving to 3 hours. I told you guys the next time it'll be in our run sheet is when we get the actual announcement from WWE. We're getting the actual announcement from WWE, so it's official. SmackDown January 3rd.
3 hours.
We're moving to 6 hours of television for Raw, across Raw and SmackDown. So
it's gonna be a leap, and I hope they could. I feel like it might be a little rocky at first. Same way the Raw 2 hours was a little rocky at first. Or obviously, it's gonna be different no matter if it's increasing time, decreasing time. It'll be different to book. It'll be different to run, produce, all that. So it might be a little rocky at first. So don't instantly tweet, "Oh, it's a failure at 3 hours." The first
you know
fucking
they will.
episode, halfway through it, you know they will. But give it time, let them balance out the rosters, and I think it will overall be fine. You know, you guys know me, always quality over quantity, always down for less is more, but they are moving to 3 hours, and I think overall with their roster, it will be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Now, speaking of CM Punk, is according to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, CM Punk will have a top level role at WrestleMania 41. WWE want to capitalize on Punk's popularity, and the feeling is that Punk will be in a showcase match at the top of the card. A world championship match would not be surprising. Yes, they also go on. They also went on to state, I have also heard, and I quote, I've also heard all year is that they want him involved in a world title match. I don't know how the puzzle pieces are going to fit, but if they want him at the top, I don't think it will be with Cody. So that one title, that's one title match out the window.
Could that would be the reason they didn't do the Gunther match? Do they want to save it for Mania?
But then this gets really weird, because as we move on, this news drops today, and this is according to Fightful. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania has been heavily discussed internally within WWE. A number of weeks ago, this was not the plan, but this had been adjusted as of late. Punk also hoped for the match. They also went on to state that if The Rock informs WWE of his involvement at Mania, much of the card could change, including a match with Reigns and Punk. Now, also regarding The Rock, this also came out today. Aha, here we go. From Ibu of Wrestle Purists, he is reporting that if WWE management secures The Rock for WrestleMania 41, his opponent would be none other than Cody Rhodes. So
Would have
there's a
guessed that.
lot going on here.
Exactly.
There is a lot going on here, bro. So with Punk, and now this is why I say this is going to be one of the most interesting WrestleMania seasons for Triple H to book, because there's a lot going on. Like I said, now you have the possibility of Punk going for the World Championship. Now last week, remember, we heard they wanted Punk and Rollins to be a trilogy and end at WrestleMania. Does Punk and Rollins somehow go for the World Championship? Do you do Punk and Gunther? Now we have the possibility of Punk and Reigns. What the hell happens, dude? There's a lot of possibilities, man. Which of these do you see being the most plausible outcome, and the thing you would do, and what do you think makes the most sense here, man? Because there's a lot being thrown around.
Oh, to be honest, I think I don't as much as I love it, I think right now I mean they did kind of tease it with Heyman, so you could do, Roman and Punk, but I feel like with all this bloodline story stuff, I think you could save that for next year. I really think you can. Um, I think it's either going to be Punk and Gunther or Punk and Seth, maybe all three. Maybe it's a triple threat between those three. Maybe, they're both gunning for the world title and they're both kind of getting each other's way, and maybe, is it triple threat at Mania? Then what else? This Mania, so confusing, dude. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, in a good way, because I genuinely don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with
Yep.
Rumble. I mean, I think we all know they're gonna do Rock and Cody. I think that's been obvious all year. That's literally the one thing we know that's gonna happen, and then that's it. And the rest of the show, up in the air. And I'm really excited for this Mania. We really don't get a Mania where we really just don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see how this plans out, because really, I don't know. It could be a triple threat, Seth, Punk, and Gunther. Could be fucking Punk and Gunther. Could still be Punk and Seth. And maybe it could be Punk and Roman with all this Heyman and favor stuff. I genuinely, dude, I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities, but I really don't have a concrete theory of what I think they might do right now, and I'm excited. I like what they're doing. I like the mystery they're building up for WrestleMania, and I like that they're feeding, because some of this cannot be true. Maybe they're just feeding this stuff to throw us off. Maybe the plan is Punk and Rollins, and they're throwing all this into these dirt sheets to throw these people off, man. You never know what they could be doing, man. They have outsmarted them before, man. So we don't know, but at least I don't know, and I'm excited. But what do you think they're doing with all this Punk and stuff, man? I'm very curious to see what you think might happen.
So in terms of, in terms of like, so well, first and foremost, I 100% agree in the fact of like, this is so confusing, but it's good. Because if you look at
Good.
all of these options, they're all fucking great.
Well,
And
I'll take
and
it.
yes, and that is what like I love to like this is what I'm loving about this WrestleMania season, and we're not even in the year of said Mania yet.
Mhm.
Is there's so much unpredictability, but like it's a good unpredictability.
Yeah.
It's a unpredictability that keeps you guessing and wanting to watch the show.
No.
And
Mm-hmm.
and with Triple H doing all this hype around like the Raw on Netflix is going to be the first road to WrestleMania. So, or the first show on the road to WrestleMania. So I'm assuming, they are going to make things a little more evident then. You look at all options across the table, they're all fucking great. If Punk goes for a world championship, I don't think anybody will complain about that. I don't think that needs to happen right now, but nobody's going to complain about it.
I'm not gonna complain at the end of the day.
Punk and
And if they're giving him
yeah.
the title, that means they trust him. And at the end of the day, he went through Hell in a Cell and War Games without injury. I
Mhm.
think that was a good test for them. And that might have been
Yes.
the reason they put him in those back to back, is to test them. Will he get injured? A lot of people did get injured in War Games, and
Yeah.
Punk wasn't one of those people. And that's crazy, and that's a good look for him.
Yep. Not to mention, not even did he just do Hell in a Cell and War Games, bro. He did a whole trilogy. You
You
know,
do a
he
whole
did a
trilogy.
strap match. He did a regular, one-on-one match at SummerSlam, then Hell in a Cell, then War Games, and injury free. Knock on wood, and God forbid. But he gets injured again. But I mean, he's if you ask me, I think I think he's passed the test. But
I think he has.
if you look at like I said, if you look at Punk going for a world championship, again, I don't think anybody's going to hate that. Now, again, I don't think that needs to happen. I think he could easily just do a story driven thing with Seth Rollins at this year's WrestleMania. I think it'll be fine. If he does go for a world championship, though, I don't think anybody will complain. You look at Punk and Gunther. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anybody that's going to complain about that. Personally, I would go with Gunther and Cena. You look at Punk and Reigns. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that either. So either way you go, it's good. It's good, and it's good
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And there's going to be compelling stories with Gunther. There's going to be a compelling story with Rollins. There's going to be a compelling story with Reigns, centered around the whole wise man. Whose wise man is Paul Heyman really? All that type of stuff they got going on. So, like, it'll be great. And then, too, with The Rock, if The Rock does want to face Roman, nobody's going to complain about that. If he faces Cody, nobody's going to complain about that. So they have endless options and just endless, really endless, just great avenues of telling these stories. But as for what I think Punk should do at WrestleMania, I would not have him go for a world championship. I would have him do the trilogy with Rollins. I would have him do Raw on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. I would have him do a match at or maybe I would have put both of them in the Elimination Chamber, and I would have both of them be each other's reasons why they don't win, and then I
Yeah.
would do the blow off at WrestleMania. That's what I would do personally, and then I would do Cena Gunther. As for Roman, that's up in the air for me because if Cody goes against Rock, I'm sorry, I love Solo. That's not a Mania match. It's just not.
Yeah.
What I would do
Yeah.
is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. I would do that.
Yes. That is a fire match.
I would do Roman versus Fatu. Now again, we're not a stranger to the possibility of the triple threat of Cody, Roman, Rock.
Mhm.
Do you do that?
You
So
could do that, and then
and
maybe you could do Fatu and Solo.
very interesting,
You have
man.
so many
or
possibilities.
or or
It
now
literally
or now, if Solo's bloodline still is intact, could you do could and now that the Tongans versus the Usos is kind of off the table, do you do Jay versus Fatu?
yeah. You could do Jay versus you do literally, dude. You have so many possibilities with everybody. So many possibilities within the bloodline, within Rock and Cody, within Roman, within fucking Punk, within Seth, it's insane, dude.
Yeah. Now I know this probably isn't going to happen, but I think we are another year in where I honestly would prefer Rock off the Mania card because that
Yeah.
opens because like I said, if you do Cena Gunther, then that opens up Randy Cody, then that opens up
Oh,
Roman Fatu,
mm-hmm.
and then that opens that up. But if the Rock is in there, then then you got to figure out what to do with Roman and all this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to see where they're gonna go. And personally, I would prefer Rock being off the card, but then again, I'm not gonna hate on it because Rock was involved with last year's card, and everything ended up turning out okay. So
Exactly. So we don't know, and we'll see. But I'm excited for Mania, dude. I'm excited to see what we get.
yes, and this is just a great, good unpredictability. This isn't the
Mm-hmm.
kind of unpredictability where you're looking fucking Draymond face with drool hanging out of your mouth at the TV saying, "What the fuck are they doing?" So,
Some dude to those Vince manias, you should be sitting there like that's what you're going with for
yeah,
Mania
yes.
every time, dude. And I'm
Drew
glad it's the
McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. That's what you're doing? Yeah.
oh, good lord, I'm so glad that we're getting this where we don't know and we're excited that we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, predictability, isn't necessarily always a bad thing. But dude, when you get a good
No,
unpredictability, I mean, that's just fucking exciting.
it's just pure excitement right there.
So to speak on Roman and Solo for a little bit, to talk about to talk about the Raw on Netflix. Well, first of all, WWE has confirmed Raw will air live coast to coast when it comes to starting on January 6th. So it's going to be live coast to coast. I'm assuming that means in the US, which I believe it already is. Unless I feel bad for the people on the West Coast if you have to wait till 7 o'clock when the show airs at about 5 o'clock your time. That sucks.
Uh,
But
yeah,
it will be live coast to coast, and they've already told us it's going to be live internationally when they do their international Raws. So I'm very excited for that, and like I said, hoping, man, that maybe we get to do a couple early unscripted, man. That would be very cool.
that would be really awesome. I'd be down for that. I like the idea of that, and I'm excited for them to be on Netflix with Raw, and they're gonna be live in the UK, live in different times. I always love that, dude.
Yeah. So Um, according to Russell Votes Backstage Pass, the main event for the debut episode of Raw on Netflix, it is currently slated at Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Michael Cole referred to Punk versus Rollins as the main event this week, which is something to note. But according to WrestleVotes, the current plan is Roman and Solo, which, if that's the case, and if Rock comes out at the end of that, do you do Rock Roman at WrestleMania? Which is interesting because
He
that leaves
said
the Cody stuff up in air, which is just very interesting.
very, very interesting no matter what.
This Mania is going to be fucking stacked.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, also, WrestleVotes said on the Backstage Pass that there is an idea within WWE to introduce a Tribal Chief Championship for Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa's rivalry at some point.
Dog, you
If the
have the Tribal Chief Championship. That is the Ulafala. That is the point. Why would you need a title when you have something that's not a title that's on the level of a title for these people? Like, when's the last time you've had a non-title object as valuable as a title? You don't get that a lot. And it is. And that's what the story revolves around. Why are you introducing a fucking goof-ass just title? It's like the Crown Jewel title. It's not, no one's, it's dumb. Please don't do that.
if that isn't one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard in my entire life. So first of all, right there, if you do that, are you telling me right there that Roman and Solo is going to be pushed to Mania?
I
Because that
probably wouldn't do
is,
that.
I'm sorry, that is, I like both guys. That is not a Mania match. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Um,
It's really not.
as for the undisputed Tribal Chief Championship, that is WWE telling you we miss how Roman looks with a title.
Yeah,
Because that is one of the dumbest ideas I have ever heard for a championship in this company's existence. The Ula Fala is the championship. That is the
yeah.
prize. It's the family necklace. You are
Mm-hmm.
bestowed the honor of wearing this. You mean that now you're gonna portray, after all the putting over you've done for the Ula Fala, now you're gonna try to portray to me that a physical championship gold on a strap of leather is the prize possession to the Samoan dynasty? Get the fuck out of here.
We all know it's not.
Yeah, the prize possession to the family is the Ulafala. So keep it at that. I mean, that why are we even discussing this? That is
Yeah,
just that is one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard of, bro. The Ulafala is the fucking prize. Why do you, there should
mm,
never be a discussion for a championship.
no, never. They can never do that. That would be horrible. That would be genuinely horrible.
I don't know if that's a Rock idea, because we all know he's no stranger to walking around with a fucking championship that shouldn't exist, but I don't know what that's about. But regardless, that is, like I said, that is an absolutely just ridiculous idea.
Mm-hmm. Completely ridiculous.
And been a lengthy episode of news here today, but with the final story, per WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, WWE feels that Drew McIntyre is on the cusp, if not already there, of becoming a significant main event upper echelon attraction. McIntyre will be a huge focus for the company heading into 2025.
That's good, man. It's all good. I mean, I kind of already thought he was, on that level per company standards, but it's good to see it's reiterating and hopefully it looks to be increased within the next years and whatnot. So, what do you think about them saying that?
I think that is scary. And I think that is a good scary, because if you thought
Mm-hmm.
McIntyre did not have a career year this year, and if you
Oh,
did not think that he made himself an upper echelon main event attraction this year with the story he told, that is scary to see what WWE has in store for him next year, because I am expecting him to go crazy, and I know he will. And he's one of the most complex, character driven, just amazingly has an amazing told story, just such an amazing talent. I mean, he is one of the most character driven and intriguing characters, and just complex characters on the main roster. And again, he's one of the most intriguing characters, and if he's set to be a huge focus in 2025, I'm left asking what the fuck he was considered this year, because
like,
I'm expecting
like,
him to go nuts.
oh, he's got to go insane, dude. And I'm really excited, man. Like you said, if 2024 he wasn't, on that level in terms of the company standards, then fucking hell, I'm crazy excited for next year, man.
Yeah, and as far as Drew, as far as Drew and what he will be doing next year, I think we're already starting to see it, which also is another option you could do for Roman at WrestleMania, is Roman and McIntyre. That's another thing that's
I
very
like it.
intriguing, if Rock decides to go for Cody. But with Roman and McIntyre, Roman sort of is the whole reason Drew is the way he is now, is because
Hmm.
he fucked him over. Roman and Solo, are a huge part of
Over.
they're the main reason Drew is heel now. So, um,
Hmm.
you're starting to see him dabble into the bloodline. You're starting to see him dabble into that, and I honestly think he could be a major component in that storyline, and I think that is going to be huge. I think that is going to be huge for McIntyre, and I think, again, if you think he was a big focus last year, I'm asking WWE what the fuck he was supposed to be this year, because that is amazing news, and I'm expecting him to go absolutely nuts and have another career year next year. So I'm pumped for Drew. And overall, dude, I genuinely don't think this company has had a year that looks brighter than 2025.
Oh, dude, they look so bright 2025. Everyone I feel can do so good. You got people like Drew, Bronson Reed, Dragonoff,
Breaker.
Breaker, dude, you so many people that we all expect to go insane next year, and a year I'm just so excited for, dude.
Me too, bro. Me too. But yeah, man, that is everything for this edition. That is everything for
Hmm.
this edition of the news, man, as we not only celebrate Sir K's birthday here in a couple days, man. So happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
the man, the myth, and the legend himself, bro, as well as a Merry Christmas season coming up next week, bro. So this is the last episode of news before Christmas. Obviously, you guys will see us on Unscripted. But yeah, man, that is basically everything here today for this edition of the news, man. This is episode 245, man. As thank you guys so very much for joining us. And with all that, that is going to do it. And it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
Nice. Okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Thank you guys very much. We love you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Monday with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.